And now on to Brendon Carpenter, who's going to tell us about a project in Arizona, Humanity Hubs. Brendon is the president of Humanity Forward Arizona, and we'll take it away, Brendon.
Hey, everyone. I'm just gonna just launch into this presentation I have. I do want to let everyone know that I haven't even presented this to my own board over here at Humanity Forward Arizona. You're really looking at the design room type first draft here. But, Colleen asked me if I wanted to show it. She was very intrigued, and I'm happy to get the concept out there. But not a lot of details here. I only had a couple hours to prepare this. Now, I'm sharing my screen here.
Yes.
1 second.
It's on.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is great at this stage to be talking about concepts and ideas in development. This is how other states build ideas off of what other ideas are generating. Yeah.
Well, I hope you like it as much as I can. And well, this is working perfectly until just now, but this is a little bit smaller, but okay, here we go. So yeah, this is the Humanity Hub proposal. I have been networking with people around the country about this idea, but we're gonna start piloting this in Arizona. In my ideal world, we would have lots of different states collaborating on stuff like this and then working to bring them together, because the larger the network, the better this is going to work. So real quick, just want to go over this idea here. From Yang 2020 to Humanity Forward, we're in a movement building stage here. So being here at Humanity First movement, we all know that we're not the people that are going to sit by and wait till Yang 2024 in order to move the country forward and in order to live our values. We got to start doing it now. And so what is our reality right now? I would say that our reality in the United States is one where our country is going down like a ship in a storm. And there's tens of millions of people that are facing loss of income. They're facing the risk of eviction. I personally, I'm a victim of homelessness. I spent 6 months homeless, and so I know what it's like to go from a member of a political movement. I was a community organizer when I became homeless, and after you're done helping out candidates, sometimes there's not a good severance package, and I was just starting my career, so I had to experience this myself, and it's my intention to try to do something to prevent this from happening to any of our own activists in the movement, because it is such a damaging time to be out on the street and unable to use your abilities that you've trained for to help communities, and it's very bad for our mental state. So I want people to think about that, but Andrew Yang said it himself, if you can't pay your bills, it has a really tough effect on your mental state. So yeah, damn right. I think that in order for this movement to progress as best as it can in the future and grow as fast, we need people. We need foot soldiers. We need people who go out into communities, organize them. And when we let some of our members of our movement fall through the cracks and experience homelessness, then in some ways we're failing to help our own. There's lots we can do to get the ship floating again. That's what the basic income march is about. That's what phone banking is about. But at the end of the day, there's people in our movement that are going to suffer that have contributed. And I think we owe them something. So what is the vision here? Well, first of all, I want to say that this idea was actually started not by my longing for a better past for myself when I experienced homelessness. It was to accomplish the mission of Humanity Forward, which they gave to the grassroots months ago, which is to grow our movement by 10 times by the start of 2024. Zach Grauman told us if we can accomplish that type of growth, then we'll be in a very good spot to win the presidency for whoever decides to run in our movement. Who knows what that'll be. But, Airbnb started with a small team and with just an app, and they grew into a multi-billion-dollar company. And so if they can do that with just a little bit of manpower, just a good idea, why can't we also build a volunteer-led digital platform for hosting individuals and families within our own movement that are in need? So I'm going to explain a little bit about how I see this as progressing in Arizona, what we could actually set up. So from right now we're doing a lot of hangs. COVID-19, it's important to social distance. It makes sense that we're all home on our laptops. By the way, people in poverty generally don't have Wi-Fi or computers or anything for this. So they're out on the streets right now, potentially some people who really sympathize with our ideals. They can't join us in this meeting. So, let's reach out to these folks. But as resources become available, as participation increases, as the pandemic ends, we can establish a network of humanity hubs, which are rented, owned, or donated space to store materials, host training events, and workshop projects. Nothing builds identity better and inspires further action than a headquarters. Every local group benefits from a physical space to build community. And one best case model here for the Humanity Hubs is our very own Arizona Yang Gang HQ, which was donated to us in the fall of 2019 by Judy and Mike Onghai. We paid absolutely nothing for it. They were diehard supporters. A beautiful studio in Phoenix that had a big space for events. We did trainings there. We held our materials there. We had our Veterans Day barbecue there. So find yourself some friends in the movement like Mike and Judy that can set you up with some real infrastructure. It's really a force multiplier for your group wherever you're at. So that's the best case model. What is a more scalable model? Because there's not going to be like-minded people with lots of resources and office buildings everywhere. So Yang Month. What we did in Yang Month is we had volunteers and supporters in the movement host hundreds of people who came from outside the state to live for at least a month. In most cases, it was only a couple weeks, but they actually lived in the homes, and then they went out during the day and knocked doors and spread the word of Humanity First and for the Yang 2020 campaign. So this is actually a scalable model, but it was very ad hoc during the campaign. So I'm looking to institutionalize this model a little bit more and give it more of a systemic, guardrails, so we can have more legal protections, safer protocols, and expand choices. So part of this initiative is going to be recruiting volunteers who can let our organization, our chapter, keep materials in their homes, and then also on the regular host trainings and events and everything. So this isn't for helping the homeless so much, but it's really important to start with the Humanity Hubs in order to let you do a lot of other great things in your chapter. Now I want to point out to a model for Humanity Hotels, which is a later phase of this project. And I'll get into that timeline here at the end. But Annette Anderson is here with us in this call right now. She just recently started the Rough Road Revival Project, longtime member of the Arizona Yang Gang, Humanity Forward Arizona, Yang Gang Roundtable, great member of our movement down in Aravaca. She'll actually be available to answer questions, by the way, about in our hang after this presentation. But Annette and a lot of other people are talking about building tiny homes, sustainable architecture, and crowdfunding and crowd building different facilities. So you can see some posts right here. Can you build a tiny house for $34? This guy says he can. And if he can show us how to do it, if we can get the same techniques, we could end up building places for our people to go, when they're in dire straits. And that red-haired Visurant avatar. That's Annette. No, that's actually just joking.
Oh, that's rad.
That's Rad Max. Yeah, she doesn't have red hair. Rad Max is also doing a similar project in Hawaii that she's put a lot of time in, but I couldn't get pictures from her fast enough. So, but that's another project that's going on in our movement. I'm trying to go fast here, but hey, give me a warning if I'm going over here at all. So, if we build housing, we can build community. In Taos, New Mexico, people are building earth ships for a very low cost out of recycled and sustainable materials. And they're beautiful, beautiful structures that they're teaching people how to build every day. So we can gain those same skills. Sand, bottles, and tires, they're literally dirt cheap, but they can be used to build magnificent structures. So why can't we make an investment for our movement so that later on, years down the road, maybe we can protect our members a little bit better by having actual infrastructure. And here's some beautiful pictures of some of these earth ships. That overhead photo there is the community in Taos. And we have a lot of land here in Arizona, at least, where we could be doing these same kind of projects for our movement. I'm wrapping up here, but there's 3 phases as I see it, and this plan can be changed around. In phase 1, you build up the humanity hubs because it's less of an ask, and you'll get more recruitment that way. It's you got to start with what you can do now, and start building up that system, that network of humanity hubs, and see what your members will be able to help you out with. And then in phase 2, we'll go out to recruit supportive landowners, and we'll begin using their property in some situations, in other situations not, but as humanity hubs, so that our volunteers and members can circulate through there and do outreach in the community. But we'll also be time banking and building humanity hotels that later on we will start opening up for our members to use. And anyone who builds these humanity hotels out on their property, they can put their time into a time banking app so that they can actually stay there later. And we'll use these time credits over time to build up a network of service providers and members who are trading their talents and their skills and building up a real network of activism and community through this. And how are we going to accomplish this? I'm doing a lot of research. I decided in the end I'm not going to show you any of the budgets we've come out with or the materials or any of the specifics. But here in Humanity Forward Arizona, we use the RTMI method. This is something I invented. First, you got to inspire, then you have to recruit, then you train, and then you mobilize. And in every cycle, you inspire more people, you recruit more people, and you just grow and grow and grow. So if we can envision it and get started with some solid core of support, then this can get bigger and better over time. So I hope this was inspiring, kind of push the edges of your imagination here. Maybe there's even better ways out there to do this that I haven't thought of, but I'm pleased to have the privilege to present it to you all.